Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, I'm Yulia Rahmah. Here, I will present our research on analysis of the variable affecting KRL Commuter Line passenger choice on the feeder modes to and from Bogor stations, which is composed by 3%, me as the first author, and Mr. Jahrizal Sumabrata as the second author, and the third author is Mrs. Gloriani Novita. This presentation will be divided into several sections. The first section is an introduction, consists of backgrounds and objective of this research. And the next section is literature review, and the third section is methodology, and the last section is the result and conclusion of this study. According to Nauziman and Hulmansa in 2017, they stated that the KRL Commuter Line is the primary mode of rail transportation in Jabodetabek. If you see the first table in the top, based on data from PT KCI as of May 2017, the route that carrying the largest passenger demand is Bogor Line. And this is also supported by data collection in 2022, when the highest number of Jabodetabek train trips were on Bogor/Depok to Jakarta Kota route, with 225 trips per day out of a total 994 departures. It is an increase of 2.27% over 2020. Based on PT Kereta Komuter Indonesia between 2020 and 2021, said that Bogor Station is the second busiest station after Tanah Abang Transit Station in Jabodetabek. This station is the meeting point of changing modes between the rail transportation services network and road transportations. Because of rail transportation is limited in network scale, so it requires feeder mode services to and from train stations. Access to station can be reached by using public transport, private vehicle, bicycle, or on foot. In improving public transport services and providing a sustainable transport network are important steps to reduce dependency on private vehicle use. Based on research composed by Tilahun et al. In 2016, say that one of the challenges in increasing the number of passengers on public transport, especially in rail transportation, is overcoming the first mile and the last mile problem of train travel. So the multimodal services integration is needed in order to provide the maximum services to the community. This will provide comfort and convenience for the community when traveling. And the multimodal transport needed to be considered to provide services that are comparable to private vehicle travel, namely door-to-door. And in order to change this, it's hoped the individual will move from driving private vehicle to use public transportation. So, in order to support the creation of an integration transportation system in Bogor City, it is necessary to analyze the variable that influence the choice of feeder modes from and to Bogor Station, which can describe the behavior and preference of KRL Commuter Line's customer, so that it can be used to be recommend police and assist transportation planner in formulating policy to improve multimodal passenger transport services at Bogor Station. Several studies has investigated the influence of factors that influencing the choice of individual travel mode and found that the important factor determining the choice mode are like in Bruton in 1985 found that socioeconomy, city size, speed, travel distance, cost, comfort, convenience, reliability, and mode availability is influencing the mode choice decision. But Kramers et al. In 2012 found that reliable travel time contributes significantly to the choice of public transport mode and lead to an increase in the number of public transport passengers, like the research in Saram, Watkins, and Rutherford in 2010, and Van Loon Rutherford Bruns in 2011. So the affordable ticket fares and reliability travel time are critical to the attractive the public transportation, like stated in research of Redman, Freeman, and Garlick in 2013. Besides reliable travel time, other transportation system-specific factors influence mode selection, such as travel cost, travel time in vehicle, waiting time, access or exit time, modal shift, and the availability of empty seats, like in Kramers in 2012. On the other hand, the result of a study conducted by Atlanta in 2013 assessed that modal choice behavior at older age has direct impact on modal choice because older adults tend to prefer private vehicle over public transportation for reason convenience and safety. This is also supported by research indicating that individual characteristic and lifestyle type of tip perceived service performance of each mode of transportation tend to influence the choice of travel. Meanwhile, the policy of reducing public transport fares, especially feeder from train station, has contributed to use of rail transportation based on Nielsen-Prato in 2017. And according to Rosa et al. In 2021, for variable travel time, modal accessibility, departure frequency, and mode availability are some of the important attributes that affecting the preference of both user of intercity land transportation. On the other hand, the result of study conducted by Atlanta et al. In 2013 assessed that modal choice behavior at the older age has impact direct on modal choice because the older adults tend to prefer private vehicle over public transportation for reason for convenience and safety. But according to Ma, in 2019, air quality can affect the choice of transportation for students, namely their preference for public transportation, where air pollution is high. Furthermore, Singal in 2014 said that rain affect the number of commuter passengers in the morning. Apart from that, transportation service parameters such as services frequency and total trip duration can influence the driver travel decision. This research was carried out the Bogor Station, which is located in Paledang, Central Bogor District and Bogor City. This research is aimed at KRL Commuter Line customer who get in or get out at Bogor stations. The choice of Bogor Station is because this station has the highest number of KRL Commuter Line passengers in Jabodetabek area. And the data collection method from this study are divided into two categories. The first one is literature review, and the second one is survey. And literature study were obtained from books and journal, both national and international, which is contain information about transportation and statistics. Meanwhile, the survey method of data collection used a pre-designed questionnaire based on an online form that was distributed at Bogor Station. The number of samples in the primary data measurement was carried out of 30 KRL Commuter Line customers at Bogor Station. These factors are taken from the literature study that have been carried out, including distance, waiting time, travel cost, safety, supporting infrastructure, weather condition when traveling, the frequency of availability of public transportation mode, and vehicle ownership. And from the questionnaire given, respondents gave response to the factor that influencing them in choosing the feeder modes at Bogor Station using a Likert scale from 1 to 5, which interpret a minimum value of 1 is meaning is not important to maximum value of 5, which is indicates that the factor has very important effect. This research instrument can be said to be valid if meets the requirement and the value of T-count more than T-table. Data testing was carried out after data collection in the field by conducting a validity test with a significant degree of confidence of 95% and value of alpha is 0.05 and resulting in T-table is 0.361. And testing the validity of the factor contained in the following table 1s. And from the result of the validity test as stated in table 1, it is known that the significant level of distance variable is 0.671, where its value greater than 0.361. It's leading to be finding that T-count more than T-table. And in other variable like time outside the variable, travel time, travel cost, safety, supporting infrastructure, weather, frequency of availability, public transport, private, it's more than T-table. So it can be concluded that the instrument is valid. And the next step is to test the reliability of each variable using the Alpha Cronbach method. And the reliability coefficient resulting are 0.727, which is indicated that instrument has the highest level of reliability if value more than 0.7. The next step is to analyze the most influential variable in the research object using the Relative Importance Index or RII method. The result of Relative Importance Index calculation can be seen in Table 2. For the variable travel time, as many as 17 respondents stated that the travel time factor was very important, while 13 other respondents said that this variable was important in determining their preference for choosing the feeder modes. In the travel time variable, it's known that the mean value is 4.567 with relative importance in the value of 0.913, where this variable ranked first in influencing KRL Commuter Line customer in choosing the feeder modes at Bogor Station. And the next influencing variable are weather condition, time outside the vehicle or waiting time, supporting infrastructure, and travel costs. Meanwhile, the variable of distance, safety, frequency of availability of public transportation mode, and private vehicle ownership do not affect KRL Commuter Line customer choice of public transport mode. The result of the study show that the ranking of 9 variables that are considered to be able to influence KRL Commuter Line customer in choosing the feeder modes at Bogor stations. There are 5 variables that are very influential, namely variable of travel time, weather condition, waiting time, supporting infrastructure, and travel costs. And this result can be recommended to Bogor city government and city planner to increase the use of feeder modes, especially to improve services related to customer preference. And Yeah, this is the end of my presentation. If you have question or input related to this research, you can contact me at the following email to yrkurniawati@gmail.com. Thank you in advance. Bye-bye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.